Hello, everyone. Hello to all the people watching the replay. I'm so glad you're here. So glad you're here. So glad you're here. Okay, so if you, well, let me wait a few seconds because I'll be ready to dive in. So let me wait a few seconds. Whew. Does Instagram know? I think Instagram knows. Excuse me. I think Instagram knows that I am live. Let's see. Hey. Hey, Sylvia. What in the world? What is going on? I'm trying to make sure that Instagram knows that I am live before I get started. Hey. What is going on? Okay. It's official. Instagram knows. We are good. Hi, Mom. My mom is here. So that means I gotta be like on my best behavior because my mom is in the chat. What's going on? Muriel, Sylvia, Talise, Veronica, Butterfly Beauty, Missy Ann, Jessica, Monique, Latanya. Hey, what's going on? Claudine, Monique. We got another Tanya. What is going on? I'm so glad you guys are here. So glad you guys are here. I want to wait a little bit longer, but because technically it's not 7 o'clock yet, I'm just 5 minutes early or a few minutes early. We can get started. We don't have to wait till 7. We can just get started. So you guys know, thank you, Butterfly. So first of all, this is a braid out. It was way more defined earlier, but as you can see, it's doing its own thing right now. I'm not about to fight it. It is what it is. But thank you. I want to know who is in the building. Where are you guys at? Where are you guys from? What state are you from? What country? Tell me all of the things. Thank you, Sylvia. Oh, we got Florida, Greenville, South Carolina. Thank you, Gwendolyn. We have Louisiana, we have Florida, we have Michigan, DC, Florida. A lot of Florida's in the house tonight. We got Brooklyn, we got Milwaukee, we got Atlanta, we got Georgia, we got North Carolina, Texas, Raleigh. You right down the street. Oh, I know you. We used to work together. I was like, your name sounds so familiar. We used to work together. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing good. Let's see. South Africa. What? South Africa. I would love to go to South Africa. I got a passport and I need to seriously use my passport. I got like one stamp from Mexico. So I got to come to South Africa. Jamaica, California, 314, Baltimore, Columbus, Ohio. I miss you too. Goldsboro, North Carolina. Also, well, I'm so glad you guys are here. If this is your very first time joining me live, put a 1 in the chat. I want to get an idea of who is in the room. So if this is your first time catching me live, whether it's first time ever or whatever, put a 1 in the chat. Muriel, it's your first time. Welcome. Angela, first time. Valerie, first time. Anyone else? Hey, Katrina. Hey, Sandra. Awesome. First time. Yes. Okay, perfect. Okay, great. So basically how this goes is there's no rules. There's no rules to this. I have no agenda. This is for you. You know, this is a time where you guys can ask me any questions regards to your hair, your scalp. Sometimes we go into skincare as well, but this time is for you. My goal is to go until around 8 o'clock. Sometimes we go over. Usually we go over, but I try to answer as many questions as possible. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump straight into it. I see a few questions already going. If you have a question for me, put it in the chat and I will try my best to get to it. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, let's see. Tim Henson says, I wanted to use cryotherapy to use with leave-in products, what ingredients in general help with smoothing the cuticle for high porosity hair? That's a great question, Tim. So I would say if you're trying to create something that you are smoothing the cuticle, and for those who don't know, high porosity hair is very porous hair. So this is the type of hair that does not retain moisture very well because the cuticles are lifted. And because they're lifted, it can get moisture very easily, but it does not stay in for a very long time. And a lot of times you will know if you're high porosity is if you moisturize your hair, but within like an hour or sometimes less, your hair feels like nothing is even in it, you know? So that's what high porosity hair is. And basically the cuticle is lifted. So Tim, back to your question. If I were you, I would formulate a product that has ceramides within it. Ceramides are like lipids. They're like fatty, like compounds. Yeah, I should say. So basically, what ceramides do is they act as the cement for the cuticle, you know, and the cuticle is the outer layer of the hair. It almost acts like it is the protecting layer of the hair. And it's very similar to shingles on a roof. So you have these layers, but sometimes if the hair experiences damage, whether it's via, you know, mechanical damage from a brush or a comb, relaxers, heat damage, for example, these cuticles can be lifted. So to help smooth the cuticles, ceramides come in to kind of save the day, to be the cement to hold these cuticles down. Hope that makes sense. So if I were you, I would create a product with ceramides within it. Proteins would be ideal, but definitely ceramides are amazing. That would be the go-to. If this product, whatever you're creating, could be like a leave-in product with ceramides, that would be amazing. So highly recommend that. Definitely try that. Okay. Gwendolyn says, I'm doing well. I need to know how to grow my edges back when I have been wearing braids for 2 years. Oh, I love this question. So I actually just got done filming a video today that's coming out hopefully within like the next week or two on just the edges and how to regrow them. So here's the thing about our edges. They are very fragile, just naturally. Even if you have like the best hair care regimen on earth, your edges are naturally fragile. And here's why. Because number one, this region of our hair, or of our head, I should say, has fewer amount of sebaceous glands. And sebaceous glands are little glands within our scalp that produce a natural oil called sebum. And where there is a lack of sebum in this area, you're going to get a lack of moisture retention, leading to dryness and then ultimately breakage. On top of that, the cuticle layers around this edges, well, your edges are very thin. So they're naturally very, very fragile. So with that being said, Gwendolyn, I would highly recommend doing scalp massages, but to be more specific, edge massages. If I were you, I would make, if you can do this, I would absolutely make an oil mixture with pumpkin seed oil. Pumpkin seed oil is also very good for reducing androgenic alopecia because it has natural DHT inhibitors within it, but it's also high in zinc. And zinc helps to strengthen the follicle, right? So with that being said, I would get an oil, pumpkin seed oil, and add maybe 5 or 8 drops of rosemary, maybe 5 or 8 drops of peppermint. And with this mixture, use this as like an edge massager, maybe once a day before you go to bed or a few times a week, and just massage the edges. I would do this for the next 4 weeks. Take before and after photos just to track your progress. And then also I would do in the meantime is be mindful of your styles. Like try to avoid tight styles, anything pulling at your edges, even like ponytails that's like too tight. I would definitely reduce that tremendously, but that oil mixture is going to help tremendously. I would also, if you're not taking a good hair growth vitamin, I would get on a good hair growth vitamin. There's a brand called Shadavi. It's a Black owned hair care vitamin. Amazing. I would definitely get that. Or a really good brand is called Pure Encapsulations. They have a hair, skin, nail vitamin too. So what you're doing is you are growing your edges internally by taking that hair growth vitamin, and with that edge oil, the pumpkin seed, rosemary, peppermint, you're also helping it externally. So that's what I would recommend. Okay, so hopefully that helps. Keep me posted. Will this live be saved? Yes, I will absolutely be saving this live. So if you come in later on or whatever, you can always go back and rewatch it. Great question. All right, let's see. I always try to go in order, but that never happens. It never happens. Let's see. Okay. I wear my hair flat iron and I have dry scalp. What is a good oil to use on the scalp? Oh, I like that question. And what is a good shampoo and conditioner for pressed hair? Okay. So, my question for you would be, how often do you flat iron your hair? Because if you're doing this multiple times a week, I don't recommend that, because what you're doing is, number one, you're sucking the moisture out of your hair in a sense, but you're also risking breakage as well, because every time you flat iron your hair, there's a little bit of damage that's taking place. So I would try to minimize the heat if you can. The second thing I would say, always, always, always use a heat protectant. That's going to be key. The best heat protectants are going to be silicone based. There's a brand I love called Lador, Lador, Wonder Hair Oil. You can find it on Amazon. It's actually in my Amazon storefront below. The link is below. That one I highly recommend. Amazing heat protectant. And if you are, once again, using heat very often, do a protein treatment once a month. So once again, give your hair that strength and integrity that it needs so it doesn't fall into heat damage. So that's answering half of the question, sort of, kind of. As far as a good oil for your scalp, jojoba is a go-to oil for the scalp. Hemp seed is actually full of omega-3s. And I think is there zinc in there? There's no zinc in there, but but that oil has a high amount of omega-3s, which is also known for strengthening the hair follicle as well. So hemp seed is a great oil for the scalp. Jojoba oil is a great oil for the scalp, and then pumpkin seed as well. To answer your other question, a good shampoo and conditioner for pressed hair. I really like As I Am. I talk about this shampoo all the time, but As I Am Long and Luxe shampoo, amazing. A really good conditioner, believe it or not, is Cream of Nature Argan Oil Conditioner. It's super creamy. The slip is amazing and is very, very hydrating for your hair. So yeah, that's what I would recommend. Great question. All right, let's see. Would you recommend to use pumpkin seed oil for Ayurvedic hair growth? Absolutely. Excuse me, absolutely. And there's I know on Amazon, there's different companies that sell Ayurvedic dried herbs. So if you want to take those dried herbs and infuse it into the pumpkin seed oil, you can absolutely do that. That would be a great blend. And even add dried rosemary or dried peppermint to enhance it. I would absolutely do that. But yes, you can absolutely use pumpkin seed oil for Ayurvedic hair growth. Jessica says, my mom has hair products she brought a few years ago and haven't used it yet. Over 2 years. Is she able to still use them if they haven't expired or gone over shelf life, or are they too far gone? That's a great question. So in most cases, a lot of hair care products will have either a 1 year or a 2-year shelf life. And it also depends on what it is. You know what I'm saying? So if it's like a shampoo or conditioner, like a water-based product, and it's 2 years old or up, I would discard it. I would discard it, girl, because that preservation system may not be as potent. And the last thing you want to do is use an expired product on your scalp, and now you got some crazy fungal growth going on your scalp. You don't want that. Okay. So I would let it go. I would let it go and just get some new products in and let those old ones go. That's a good question. I use fresh aloe from the plant and my hair feels stiff. I don't want to formulate anything way too hard. Fresh aloe from the plant. I would try the juice. I would try the juice in your formula and see how how the hair feels using the juice. If you do use the juice, there's a brand called Lily of the Desert. That's a really, really good brand to check out, and you can use that in your formulations. I would say don't get the one that says preservative free. You want the one that has the preservative in it, because the one that says preservative free, I kid you not, it smells horrible. So you don't want that. So just get the Lily of the Desert aloe vera juice and make sure it's not the preservative free one. Glueless wigs grow edges. They can absolutely. And you know, I'm a huge fan of headband wigs. I think that was the thing that helped me the most last year to get to my length, because you take it off at night or when you're home, you don't wear it, you know. But when you do start using glue on your edges, you do risk the glue clogging the follicles. And when that happens, that can lead to inflammation. And then that can also lead to slowed or stunted hair growth. So I'm not a big fan of the glue and the edges. You know, I would just get you a good old glueless wig or a headband wig. The ones I recommend are below in my Amazon storefront. DA Carter says, I'm trying not to use heat and blow dry my hair. Okay. But my roots are constantly tangled and I have high porosity hair. Something. Do I need to cut or am I using heat improperly? So you're trying not to use heat and to blow dry your hair. Your roots are constantly tangled and you have high porosity hair. Do I need to cut or am I using heat improperly? So if your ends are looking like really thin, you got like a lot of split ends, your ends look really like bushy and damaged, absolutely go for a trim for sure. But as far as like your roots being very tangled, I would start, if you haven't already, just start detangling your hair throughout the week. I wouldn't wait until your wash day to thoroughly detangle your hair. I don't know if you're doing this or not, but a lot of times a lack of detangling can lead to tangles at the root. The other thing I would say too is, are you doing protein treatments? If you have high porosity hair, you need to be doing protein treatments at least once a month. You can do a lightweight protein treatment. It can be Apogee 2-minute, or it can be K18 or Olaplex, but that's going to be essential for your hair. So, and that alone may even help with that moisture retention and reducing the tangles at your roots as well. I think my hairline is receding. Can it be stopped? How can I tell for sure it's receding? I would look at old pictures. Like, take a picture of yourself tonight and then look at a picture from like 3 months ago or 6 months ago. If you see a difference, then more than likely your hairline is receding. You know, it can be due to your age, which is tied to the fluctuation of hormones. You know what I'm saying? So it could be a few of those things. If you are over 40, it could be, you know, androgenic tide, like androgenic alopecia, which affects males and females. And that's where that pumpkin seed oil comes into play. You know what I'm saying? So I would definitely try that out if you are over 40. Get your hands on some pumpkin seed oil. A good brand I like and I typically recommend is by a company called mountainroseherbs.com. They sell high quality oils, especially pumpkin seed oil, and I would just do massages in that area. So that's going to help tremendously. So I would definitely try that. All right, let's see. Where am I? Yes, Lador Wonder Hair Oil. Thank you for typing that in the chat. I should probably get like some moderators because I ain't got none. But moderators would be like super helpful because you guys can type things in as I'm like saying them. Okay, let's see. Where was I? I answered that question. Answered that one. Minoxidil brung my hairline back. Oh, that's good. That's awesome. I don't have anything against Rogaine or minoxidil. The only thing is I have had clients who have used Rogaine and minoxidil before, and they saw that once they stopped using it, their hair fell out again. Like your body has to be dependent on that drug. That may not be the case for everyone, but a lot of times that is the case, which is why I typically recommend pumpkin seed oil and peppermint and rosemary. Let's see. Dorcas says, do you have any recommendations for seborrheic dermatitis, shampoo, conditioner, oil? Great question. So if you have seborrheic dermatitis, I wouldn't use oil on your scalp. I wouldn't use it because a lot of times seborrheic dermatitis is tied. Well, here's kind of like the stages of it all. It starts from a yeast called Malassezia, that's the yeast, which causes dandruff. And then the next stage after that is the seborrheic dermatitis. And that's from the irritation, the itchiness, the scratching, the inflammation, ultimately, right? So with that dandruff and that oiliness on the scalp, I wouldn't recommend an oil. If anything, I would recommend a serum, like a water-based scalp serum, Pacifica, rosemary mint scalp serum, amazing. Pattern Beauty has a scalp serum as well. So you want something that's going to be like a water-based serum with antioxidants within it, like green tea, aloe vera juice, for example. That's going to be very helpful for you, but I wouldn't put oil on your scalp if you have seborrheic dermatitis. As far as a good shampoo and conditioner goes, check out oh goodness, Atlanta Hair Doctor. She has a shampoo and conditioner that is formulated for seborrheic dermatitis and alopecia. So I would definitely check out her brand for sure. You can just go, I think it's like atlantahair.doctor.net. I would just check her out. And you can see all the before and after photos on her website. Hey, so I've been doing this moisturizing routine, which is okay. What's your moisturizing routine? With which is okay with moisture, but recently my hair has been really dry. So I was wondering if was the fact that Jamaica has suddenly got so windy. Um, I've never known the wind to have an effect on moisture levels of the hair. Cold air, absolutely. Humidity, absolutely. But the wind, not so much. But I will say this, it could be the product that you're using, the moisturizer just may not be compatible with your hair. Or if it typically is compatible, but all of a sudden it's not due to the weather, you may want to switch up your sealant if you are moisturizing and sealing your hair. So let's say you were using grapeseed oil, which is a very lightweight emollient. You may need to switch to something like olive oil or hair grease, something a little bit heavier to lock in that moisture. So even when it is windy, your hair can still retain that moisture regardless of the weather. So I would highly recommend that. Just switch up your emollient, and that should do the job, especially if your moisturizer has been working. And if it's not working and it is indeed the moisturizer like having an issue or just not compatible with your hair, I would check out the Apogee Shea Pro leave-in conditioner if you can get your hands on it since you are in Jamaica. I would get your hands on that if you can. Or I don't know if you have this brand, but ORS olive oil hair lotion. That's also a really good one as well. Does Mary Ruth's liquid vitamin live up to the hype? That's a good question. So I haven't used, have I used her product? If I have, I probably didn't stick with it if I have tried it. But as far as does it live up to the hype, I can't really say. I haven't really tried it. I would look at the reviews to see what people are saying. In most cases, liquid vitamins are essential, and sometimes they can be a lot better because they absorb easier into the body. But I would check it out and see how you respond to it, and look at the reviews for sure. That'll be super helpful. I'm kind of in between the gummy vitamins because a lot of times they're full of sugar and I don't know how effective they are. That's the only vitamin I'm kind of like hesitant on, but liquid vitamins are typically pretty good. Brianna says, why do I need, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Hold on, Brianna, I'm trying to find your question. I just lost it. Just lost your question. Hold, please. The attempt to find Brianna's question. Dang it. I don't know if I can find it. Brianna, I think I lost your question, sis. If you can retype it, that would be great because it literally disappeared. I cannot find it. I can't find your question. All right, give me like 10 more seconds. If I can't find it, then I'll just go ahead and answer another one. Dang it. I feel so, okay, here we go. I found it. Okay, why do I need protein treatment for my low porosity hair? It doesn't feel weak or, wait, why do I need a protein treatment for my low porosity hair? It doesn't feel weak or soft and it's strong. It is because I'm using aloe vera since it does have protein in it. It could be. I mean, if you don't, if you, okay, let me say this. Everyone's hair is different. If you feel like your hair does not need a protein treatment, you don't got to do it. It's absolutely okay. I typically recommend it because our hair is made up of protein, and a lot of times combing and brushing, sometimes certain shampoos, chemical treatments, heat requires us to put that protein back into our hair. You know what I'm saying? So, but if for you, if you feel like your hair doesn't need it and your hair feels strong, then it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Now, if your hair starts to break or, you start seeing different changes and you're doing all the moisturizing things, then start incorporating protein into your regimen. But in the meantime, if your hair doesn't need it, it's okay. And curly chemistry rule 101, do what works best for you. Okay. You have to always do what works best for you. And I always tell people, I can tell you all the things, but you don't have to do what I recommend. And that's okay. Okay. It's all love here. Okay, next question. Okay, let's see. I answered that. I like this question, Kim. I currently have my hair braided down, okay, and I wear wigs. What do you suggest for oil and moisturizer? Yeah, great question. So if your hair is in braids, right, like fake braids, passion twists, whatever, the question is, how do I keep my hair moisturized when I don't have access to my hair? That is when you want to opt for liquid moisturizers. Golden. Okay? Because it's going to allow your hair to get the moisture that it needs while it's still in that protective style. So you can use aloe vera juice, you can use regular water, you can use like a liquid leave-in conditioner like Apogee Pro Vitamin leave-in conditioner, one of my favorites. Like that's going to soften the hair and moisturize the hair. So just spritz it on your braids. Spritz it on your braids, get you a little bit of sweet almond oil, on top of it to lock in that moisture. Done. Done, 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 done. That's all you got to do. So, and you can do this like multiple times throughout the week as needed, but that's the best way to moisturize your hair while it's in that protective style. A liquid moisturizer and a lightweight oil. Okay. All right, let's see. Bria says, good evening, Curly Chemistry. Hey, girl, can you please tell me a good oil that is good with hair that eats up oil for the winter? Okay, so I love this question, Bria, because I often recommend, like, as the seasons change, a lot of times your products have to change too. Like I may not use a deep conditioner that much in the summertime, but I will use it more often in the wintertime because of the cold air and how it just makes the hair so much drier, right? So if your hair currently, like your sealant that you're using is just not doing it like it normally does, switch to a heavier sealant. I don't know if you have thick hair or fine hair, but if you have fine hair, you can use olive oil. You can use avocado oil. If you have thick hair, you can probably get away with lanolin. I just talked about lanolin just now on my Instagram page, or you can use hair grease, like that extra oomph of an oil is going to help to lock in that moisture even more. So that's why I would recommend, especially during the wintertime. Great question. Okay, let's see. All right, where was I? Before I continue, let me do a quick let me read the room. If this is helpful, put a 1 in the chat so I can know how we're doing. And I'm going to sip on my sweet tea while you guys tell me. If this is helpful, put a 1 in the chat. Okay, great. Okay, cool. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so let's go ahead and keep going. Because you guys know when I go, I just be talking. So I got to make sure we good. We still here. Okay. So where was I? Let's see. I answered that question. Dang it. Okay. What's a good hydrating serum that helps edges grow? Pacifica, rosemary mint serum, hands down. I love that stuff. Love it. Love it. You can get it at Ulta. And Amazon has it as well. But Pacifica Rosemary Mint Scalp Serum. Amazing. I have it in my Amazon store under the scalp section, scalp products. It's in there. Lanaya says, hey, Tanya, what would you do with looser texture hair that grows longer and faster than the tighter textures? That's a good question. Where to cut for balance or just the dry ends? My hair is tailbone length. Come on, tailbone length. Come on, tailbone. Lanaya, you need to email me, boo, because I want to know all the things. Okay. I need you to email me your regimen, the products you'll be using. Tell me. Because okay, I love that. Tailbone length. Email me. ilearn at curlychemistry.com. Okay, because I want to know all the things that you are doing. I love that for you. Great question. So as far as like cutting the hair, girl, I would just go to a stylist and let them figure out the balance there. If you do have dry ends, they got to go. They got to go, they got to go, they got to go, because all that's going to do is create split ends. That's going to ride up the shaft of your hair and cause craziness. Okay. So definitely cut the dry ends for sure. As far as your question about what would you do with looser texture hair that grows longer and faster than the tighter texture, you know, there's a few things you could do. If you want, and this is like, you don't have to do this. You could cut your hair in layers so that it looks a certain type of way where it's all balanced and it looks really good. Or the tighter texture, focus on TLCing that section. So for example, a lot of times our tighter textures is going to be up here in the crown, right? So I just had a call with a client on Tuesday, and she was saying like she experiences like a lot of breakage in this area because this part of her hair, the crown, is so much more drier, and like the texture is so much tighter, and it's just like it's just breaking off. So what I told her to do was for to avoid breakage, moisturize that section a little bit more. Change your sealant. I know I talk about sealants a lot on tonight's live, but sealants are that thing to lock in that moisture. Because if I'm just using a regular liquid moisturizer or a cream moisturizer, that water, that hydration technically is going to evaporate eventually. But that oil, that grease, that lanolin is going to help to kind of create a protective layer over the moisture so that it stays within the cuticle a lot longer, aka less moisture loss. So I would really just cater to that tighter section. I would even do scalp massages as well to get that blood flow flowing to the follicles up here to give it that extra boost of hair growth. So hopefully it catches up with the looser textures, you know? So that's how I would recommend. That's just the uniqueness of our hair, you know, like you have some textures that are tighter and looser. Like for me, the back of my, like this part of my hair is a looser texture. This part always grows longer versus like up here. So if you can see when I do my braid outs, it's kind of like a little bit of a layer, and that's just kind of how I work with it, you know? So you kind of got to find what works best for you. But once again, if you do have those dry ends, I will absolutely get them cut for sure. Hopefully that answers your question. But come on, tailbone length. I love that. What's a good oil for low porosity gray hair? For like locking in moisture, I would say, well, you have gray hair. And here's the thing about gray hair. Gray hair is typically more porous. So for anyone out there who does have gray hair and you're like, oh my gosh, my hair is gray and it's changed. It's dry all the time. It's breaking. And that's because when our hair loses the melanin, the color, it becomes more porous. When it becomes more porous, it doesn't keep moisture in very long. So you want a emollient, an oil that's a little bit heavier than say grapeseed oil. So avocado, olive, hair grease for the win. I mean, we used it when we were kids and our hair was flourishing. You know what I'm saying? So don't be knocking the grease, but I would try that too. Okay, let's see. What's a good hair protein or like a protein treatment? Apogee, Olaplex, K18. Can't go wrong with those brands. Those are great. Great ones. I highly recommend. What's your opinion on toxicity in synthetic braiding hair and wigs? Ooh, that's a good question. So I'll say this, and this kind of goes into the whole category of parabens, which is a whole nother topic. But for me personally, I haven't seen a lot of research or clinical trials backing it being toxic for our hair. So that's one thing. I think because I am a chemist, I'm very science backed and research backed versus, oh, they said, or this person posted, or this thing was, I need to see the science behind it. And I need to see actual people who have been using braids and synthetic hair or wigs that actually have these effects. So that's just me. The second thing is, even if this synthetic hair or wig has these harsh toxic contaminants within it, it's probably in there at a very trace amount, like teeny, 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 tiny amount. So is it even enough to cause a toxic effect within our body? That's number one. And then number two, if we talk a little bit about toxicology, we have to think about the entry. You know what I'm saying? So let's say we have, synthetic braids on our scalp. The skin itself is a very, very strong barrier. It takes a lot, I mean, a lot for it to get past this barrier here or even our scalp. So you have to look at it from that standpoint too. And a lot of people don't notice, but we breathe in formaldehyde every single day. We breathe in formaldehyde every single day. But guess what? It's in our air at a very trace, teeny tiny amount, not enough to have an effect on our body. So that's my little spiel on it. But I probably should talk more about this topic because I don't think I do it enough. But it is interesting for sure. And that's also kind of tied to parabens as well, but that's for another video. But hopefully that helps. Okay, let's see. What's a good peptide infused scalp serum? Briogeo has a really good one. I think Pattern Beauty does have some peptides in there as well, but definitely check out the one from Briogeo. When are you going to do a tutorial on how you do your hair? That's a good question. I don't do a lot of tutorials on my hair, do I? Actually, I did a braid out tutorial a few years ago, but I probably should refresh it. So with that being said, I'm going to write that down. Braid out tutorial. So yes, it's coming. I wrote it down. It's coming. Let's see. Recommendations for severe shedding. Ooh, that's a good question. So if you have severe shedding, it could be a number of things. The first thing that I always ask people, especially my clients, is, what is your vitamin D levels like? What's your iron levels like? Because a lot of times excessive shedding can be tied to that. Also, I talked about this in my last live. You may have low biotin. I did a micronutrient test maybe 2 years ago, and this test pretty much revealed a lot of different nutritional deficiencies that most primary doctors don't even test for, such as biotin. And I found out that I was deficient in biotin because at that time my hair was shedding like a lot. And I know what was going on. And then when I got the micronutrient test, it came back that I was low in biotin. So I started taking biotin supplements and I saw a huge decrease in my shedding. So it could be nutritional reasons, just your body's lacking something, So I would definitely get some blood work done. I will also look into getting a micronutrient test done. Just Google micronutrient test near me, and you should see some resources there. Also, it could be the fact that your follicles may be aging. as well. There could be some inflammation in the scalp, and that's where my hydrating herbal hair tea rinse comes into play, because it has a ton of green tea and rosemary and peppermint, a lot of amazing antioxidants to help support reducing inflammation in the scalp. So the good thing is you have different options to look into, but that's what I would recommend for excessive shedding. Great question. What name do you use for your Amazon store? I'm looking for it, but I don't see it. I have never shopped by this before. Below in the description box, you will see, it should say Curly Chemistry Amazon storefront. So look right below this video in the description box and you'll see the link right there. Is tea tree oil good for your scalp? Absolutely, Nita. Personally, I think tea tree oil is like one of the, if not the best essential oils for the scalp, because it is antifungal, antimicrobial, antibacterial. Like, it is absolutely amazing, and it will kill off Malassezia, which is the yeast responsible for dandruff. Now, here's the thing about tea tree. It regulates the scalp microbiome, because our scalp is naturally going to have good bacteria and bad bacteria. I just did a reel on YouTube, not YouTube, on Instagram, on my Instagram channel. But the scalp naturally has good bacteria and also bad bacteria. But the problem comes in when, excuse me, the bad bacteria outgrows the good bacteria, right? And that leads to dandruff and then seborrheic dermatitis, inflammation, stunted hair growth. Is like a cycle or a downfall ripple effect, right? But tea tree oil, because it is so antimicrobial, it helps to bring balance just enough where it kills off the overgrowth of the bad bacteria and brings it back down to where it needs to be. So long story short, sis, tea tree oil is amazing. I highly, highly recommend it. You can even add a few drops of tea tree oil to your shampoo. If you want to do like a scalp pre-poo like thing treatment, you can take aloe vera juice or aloe vera gel, add a few drops of tea tree oil to that, mix that up, massage that into your scalp. Ooh, that's gonna be so good. That's gonna be so hydrating, but also great for reducing inflammation. If you have itchiness or redness or just irritation of the scalp, aloe vera juice mixed with a few drops of tea tree oil, amazing. Thank me later. Thank me later. But definitely try that. So Olaplex is a good protein. So Olaplex is a protein treatment. Yes, it is a protein treatment. All right, I answered that question. Answer that one. How often should you trim your hair? Okay, let me ask y'all this. Is there like a is there like a video going on right now about trimming? Because this is like the second question I got like 2 days in a row about trimming, and like what's like how often should you do it? So I don't know if there's like someone going around talking about this, because I'm like, okay, anyway. But as far as trimming goes, I'll just say this. The rule of thumb is every 6 to 8 weeks trim your hair, right? I do recommend that, but I also recommend that there are so many nuances when it comes to our hair. You know, there are some people who can go, 6 months without trimming their hair and they're good. So I will say this, always do like a hair maintenance check or ends maintenance check where you're looking at your ends, right? And just kind of monitor how they look. Like when you do a braid out or a twist out or you flat iron your hair, are your ends kind of thin? Do you see a lot of breakage at the ends? Do you see a lot of split ends at the ends? Are your ends kind of bushy and damaged looking? If that's the case, get a trim. If your ends look good and you don't need it, then you don't need it. And that's okay. So the rule of thumb is 6 to 8 weeks, but I say, yes, stick with that, but also pay more attention to your personal needs for your hair. That's how I recommend. Great question. Thank you, what T said. I appreciate it. Let's see. Hold on 1 second. Okay. All right, let's see. Tim, I see your question. I'm trying to get to a few others before I get to yours. So give me 1 second. What's the best flat irons and blow dryers that won't do much damage to your hair? Oh, that's a good question. So as far as blow dryers go, Revere. I'm biased. I'm sorry. I love my Revere. But Revere is amazing. It's the first blow dryer that I've ever used that actually makes my hair feel better after it's dry. So I highly recommend the Revere. As far as a flat iron, there's one that I actually just purchased a year ago. I'm trying to see if I can find it really quick for you. Is this it? Yes, this is it. This is it. This is it. So it's by a company called Bionic, and it's the One Pass Styling Iron. Like just Google Bionic One Pass Styling Iron. So it's basically designed where you just need to do one pass to flat iron your hair, and that's it. And I can testify that it does work. And it's awesome. It is an investment. Ain't gonna lie, it is an investment, but it's worth it. Especially if you know, tend to flat iron your hair. I don't do it very often though, but when I do it, I want it to be right. So Bionic One Pass Flat Iron, I highly recommend that. So yeah, those two absolutely, and of course, always use a heat protectant. Tim, to answer your question, what ceramide you look for? I would look for a ceramide NP. And as in Nancy, P as in Paul, ceramide NP. Making Cosmetics may have it. Lotion crafters may have it too, but I would just go on those two ingredient websites and then type in ceramide. Ceramide NP should pop up. Okay. Is the TGIN, what time is it? Let me check my time. Okay, 7:42. We got to be okay. We're good. Is TGIN Miracle X leave-in conditioner good for low porosity, medium dense 4C hair? Yes, that's actually one of my favorite leave-in conditioners. Very creamy, detangling, softness, all the things. So yes, that's a really good one to test out. I would get it from either Ulta or Target, so that when you try it and your hair doesn't like it, you can take it back, okay? But that product, really, really good, super amazing and hydrating. And you can also use it as a moisturizer in between your wash days as well. Great question. Hey girl, Curly Sloth, my IG sister. What type of lanolin do you use on your ends? I have the Now Foods Pure Lanolin, and it smells like a barn. Also, do you think a shampoo brush is good for shower detangling? Okay, so Curly Slop, I love your question because I actually use the same brand, the Now Foods Lanolin, and it smells like a barn. It smells like some sheep, okay? But here's the thing. I melt my lanolin down and I add sweet almond oil to mine. So by me adding sweet almond oil, that makes the scent go down a little bit more. If you want, you can add like orange essential oil or even tangerine essential oil to it, just to kind of give it some oomph. But real lanolin, like authentic lanolin, is going to smell like a barn. But it's so good. It's so good for the hair. Like, I love it. And I'm so glad you I'm so glad you asked that because that's what I used last night for this braid out, which is starting to puff up. It's getting a little on the wild side, but it is what it is. My hair just has its own personality and I just let it do its thing. I don't even try to fight it anymore. I just don't fight it. But I used lanolin last night for my ends. So you see how like my ends are very it's so weird because it's like the opposite. Okay, there we go. So you see how my ends are like very curly and shiny and like they look like mwah, mwah, mwah. It's the lanolin, okay, as my sealant. Now here's the thing. Lanolin is thickums. It's thicker. It's thicker than hair grease. So because it's so thick, I'm not really using it on the length of my hair. I'm mainly using it on the most fragile, most oldest part of my hair, which is the ends, because we ain't got time for no breakage because we're trying to retain our length, okay? But I'll take a little bit of lanolin, and when I get down to like the last little braid, the last little twist at the end, I'll take some lanolin and just seal that up. And that's what I did for this style. So it's amazing. Great question. Okay. And then you asked me another one. Do you think a shampoo brush is good for shower detangling? So the shampoo brush is really going to be more so for your scalp than the actual detangling of the shaft of your hair. So if you're shampooing your hair on your wash day, absolutely use a scalp brush because that's going to help remove any dead skin cells off of the scalp and also excessive product buildup. But as far as detangling the hair, the scalp brush and detangling of the hair is going to be two separate techniques or mechanisms, I should say, you know? So, but yeah, use a scalp brush, absolutely. What do you do for scalp infections? Oh, that's a good question, Tanya. It depends on the scalp infection, you know? My question for you, Tanya, would be, have you seen a dermatologist? Have you seen a trichologist? Because the type of scalp infection will determine the treatment. You know what I'm saying? If it's something basic like seborrheic dermatitis or eczema, then I'm going to say aloe vera juice. I'm going to say tea tree oil. I'm going to say diluted apple cider vinegar rinses. But if something more severe than that, you know, then you may have to get like a prescription from your dermatologist or your trichologist. You know what I'm saying? Like something a little bit more heavier. So it just depends on the type of scalp infection. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? How do you style your hair today? Need more ideas of how to style my hair when I do repair. I just, hey Monique. Wait, hold up. I think, why your face looks so familiar? Monique Mills. Have we spoke before? Have we had like a coaching call, or I don't know why your name sounds so familiar to me. But anyway, hey girl. As far as your question goes, this is a braid out. It was way more defined earlier. Do I have a picture? Maybe I can show you how defined it was earlier, because right now it's just poofing up. But I don't really care anymore. It is what it is. Okay, maybe I can hold on. Find a picture. I can't find one. It's fine. But anyway, this is a braid out. I just did 6 braids, like single plait braids, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's all it is. Just a braid out. But the thing is, it's just getting fluffier and bigger. So yeah, it is what it is. But that's what the style was. As far as like ideas for how to style your hair, YouTube. I would literally just type in like based off of your hair length, natural style. So short, natural style options, medium, natural style options, and so forth to get some really cool ideas, because the girlies out here on YouTube, they having some really unique styles. So I would definitely check that out. Ooh, excuse me. Yes. Thank you, Sylvia. This is why I need moderators. If this video has been helpful for you, please be sure to hit the like button. If we can get to 120 likes tonight, that would be amazing. That would be so great. So if this has been helpful, be sure to hit that like button, and thank you in advance. Do you use grease on wet hair prior to stretching on wet hair? No. I will typically use hair grease on dry hair, maybe damp, barely damp hair, but definitely on dry hair. So for me, grease is always going to be the last step. So it's going to be like me spritzing my hair with a liquid moisturizer or a cream moisturizer and taking that grease and sealing it and then doing twist or braid out or braid. You know what I'm trying to say? So, but it's never on wet hair. If I'm going to put any type of emollient or sealant on wet hair, it's going to be a liquid oil. Thank you guys for getting me to 120. You guys are amazing. Okay, next question. Let's see. Is refrigerated fresh rosemary and cloves good for the hair? What are the benefits? How long should I keep it? Great question. So when you make a blend like rosemary water with cloves, it depends. I wouldn't go longer than 7 days personally. A lot of times you'll know it'll smell funny or something might be floating around and growing in there. Okay. So it could be that, but I wouldn't go longer than 7 days. Cloves are very antimicrobial, very antibacterial. So if you have dandruff, for example, if you have seborrheic dermatitis, for example, that's going to help to reduce that. like those microbes, those bad microbes off of the scalp. Once again, not completely, but just enough where it brings back that balance. Rosemary is a natural stimulant. So you guys know where there is a lack of blood flow, there will be a lack of hair growth. So we need blood. We need that blood that carries the oxygen to our follicles. And rosemary is, I want to say rosemary and peppermint are vasodilators. So they actually help to widen the blood vessels. So more blood and more oxygen can flow through the blood vessels to your follicle to support hair growth. So that's kind of the scientifical, yes, I made that word up, comes into play. That's how it works. And it's amazing. Rosemary has been around for ages, including cloves as well. So hopefully that helps. Okay, let's say. I answered that question. Let's see. Tracy, hey Tracy. Hello, Tanya. I love your platform. What hair serum can I use for the edges and the nape? If most popular ones, including rosemary, biotin, caffeine, etc., make me scratch a hole in my head. Oh no, tired of wasting money. So, okay. So it could be a few, it could be like your scalp is just super sensitive, right? And it doesn't like the rosemary and the biotin and the caffeine. So that's definitely a thing for sure. It could be like an allergic reaction that's going on too. It could also be you may have like a lot of buildup on your scalp. So the balance, the pH of the scalp is already kind of haywire. And a lot of times just clarifying, exfoliating your scalp, kind of giving your scalp a reset will allow those products that you thought didn't work for your scalp actually start to work for your scalp. So it could be that too. But in the meantime, let's say it's not those things and your scalp really just does not like rosemary, biotin, caffeine, etc., and you're looking for something like hydrating for your edges and your nape, I would go for good old aloe vera juice. That's what I would do, like raw aloe vera juice. That's what I would go for. Yeah, that's what I would go for. Definitely aloe vera juice. And once again, even though rosemary and peppermint are great stimulants, you can still get that blood flow going just with your fingers, scalp massaging, to help regrow your edges. So that works too. So hopefully that helps. Keep me posted. I feel like every time I move my mouse, the questions go da-da-da, and I lose them. Okay. Let's see. Any tips post-menopausal thinning besides minoxidil, rosemary, and pumpkin seed oil? Here we go again. So here's my question to you. Here we go again. Have you tried the minoxidil? Have you tried the rosemary and pumpkin seed oil? Have you tried that? Because if you tried that and it hasn't worked for you, then I would say other options. You could try derma rolling, which is like a technique of kind of it's almost like damaging the skin, which forces the skin to rejuvenate. And with that rejuvenation, it forces the hair to produce more hair, more growth in a sense. So you could try derma rolling. Thinning of the hair, which is tied a lot of times when it is postmenopausal, it's a hormonal thing for sure. So you can try to balance your hormones naturally. You can go to your doctor and see what your hormonal options for balancing are, or you can look into natural supplements like I had a moment. Like Dong Quai, for example. Red raspberry leaf is another good one. Like just natural herbs to balance the hormones to help reduce that thinning for postmenopausal hair loss. So those would be your options. If you really want to go a little bit deeper, I don't know what your diet is like, but your diet could also play a role in hair thinning as well. Because if you do have a high carb diet, that can lead to inflammation within your scalp, which can then lead to thinning of the hair. So when it's all said and done, you could change your diet and have less carbs. You can eat more, healthy fat, salmon, olive oil, omega-3s, like really almost like I don't want to say a keto diet, but something in that area, So I would just kind of explore those options between the thermal rolling, diet change, and I forgot what the second one was, but hopefully you got that one because I completely forgot. But the good thing is this live will be saved, so you can always go back and watch it. Great question. Do you have any recommendations for lanolin? Yes, the brand I like and use is by a brand called Now, N-O-W, and it should be in my my Amazon storefront. Link is below. Whew. Funny question. Oh my God. Sarah says, what makes you laugh? Where are you ticklish? Oh my. What makes me laugh? I think awkwardness makes me laugh. Dad jokes and puns make me laugh. And even bad jokes. Like you ever had someone say a really bad joke and the joke was so bad it just became awkward? That makes me laugh. As far as where I'm ticklish, I'll never tell. I can't tell you that. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't tell you that. I can't tell you that, Sarah. I can't tell you that. Next question. John says, hi, Tanya. Hey, John. How do you incorporate bond repair products in your wash day for 4C damaged hair? Great question. So bond repair products. So we're talking about K18. We're talking about Olaplex, right? So the good thing about those products is that they're not like super hardcore strengthening protein like Apogee 2-step. So something like that, you can do this twice a month. You can do this once a month, depending on how damaged the hair is. But I would just incorporate it based off the instructions on the bottle. I keep forgetting, but I think K18 or Olaplex, I think it's Olaplex is the one that you have to use before you shampoo your hair, and then K18 is the one you use after you shampoo your hair. So depending on which one you go with, and like I said, both of these brands are great. You can't go wrong with them. I think that'll really determine how you want to incorporate it into your wash day. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Good night, Natalie. All right, let's do a few more questions because we are approaching 8 o'clock in literally 2 minutes. It goes by so fast. It goes by way too fast. What's the best brand of botana oil? I've seen several different brands. Yeah. So oh gosh, I can't remember the name of it, but it's in my Amazon store. Literally everything's in my Amazon storefront. But if you go to my Amazon storefront, look for, it should be under pre-poo oils or carrier oils. And you will see 2 brands that I recommend. If you want the raw botana oil that you can use for like pre-pooing, you're going to see like it's going to be like in a jar, like a little jar. And it's going to be hard, similar to coconut oil. But that one I recommend, and the link is below in the description box. Just look for Curly Chemistry Amazon storefront. All right, let's see if I can do like some rapid fire questions. You recommended As I Am Grow Luxe shampoo. Have you tried have you tried others from the brand? No. See, I'm very loyal. I'm a very loyal girl. Okay. So when I find something that I like, I tend to stick with it. And that shampoo from that brand, I really like. Now, will I try other brands? Absolutely. But for the As I Am, that Long and Luxe under that one brand, I zeroed in on that thing and we locked in. So yeah. Where can I get the pumpkin seed oil? mountainroseherbs.com. mountainroseherbs.com. Okay. If we can get to 150 likes, that'd be great. So this is helpful for you. Be sure to hit the like button. We can get to 150. Okay. Rapid fire. Okay, let's see. Your thoughts / opinion on the Main Attraction Extra Strength Hair Growth Oil. I've never seen it before. I've never used it before. I will look at the reviews. I will look at the ingredients to kind of help determine if you want to try or use it, but definitely look at the reviews for sure. Brenda says, my hair is thin around the edges, top and 4C natural. What styles can I use to get out of wigs? Okay, so you have thin edges, and You're looking for styles that can help you get out of wigs. So I wouldn't be afraid of the wigs because the wigs can be a temporary protective style until your hair starts to grow in the edge section. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing wrong with headband wigs. Like I would rock a headband wig for the next 3 months to regrow your edges and then transition to styles outside of the wigs because now your edges are, they here. They're present. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be afraid of headband wigs, not the glue ones, but the headband wigs. And then also, once again, YouTube, look up styles for, those who are growing their edges just to see what other options are out there. What's a good deep conditioner? Oh man. I like the melanin hyaluronic, like the plumping deep conditioner. That one's really good. Shea Moisture Manuka Honey Hair Mask. That one's also really good too. So I would say those are like my top two. Oh, and the Nunu hair mask by oh gosh, what's that brand? Divines, Davines, but just type in Nunu, Nunu hair mask. That one's amazing. It's like $32, but it's so good. Like the slip, amazing. So I recommend that. Has anyone ever pulled a prank on you before? Probably, but I don't remember it. So yeah. Okay, let's see. Any suggestions on successful wet set on fine natural hair? A wet set. What's the wet set? Like doing your hair on wet hair? I think that's what you're saying. I don't know. But if that's the case, I would get a good mousse. Mousse. I would use Lotta Body. I think it's just Lotta Body hair mousse. But it's blue and it's so good. So I would get that for sure. How do you feel about clip-ins and hair extensions? I think clip-ins and hair extensions are fine if they are installed properly and not left in too long and not pulling on your hair. If they don't do none of that, we're good. Some wigs irritate my scalp. What kind of material I should be looking for in a wig? I can't really comment on the material of the wig. I would look at what are some of the brands that you've seen the irritation with. Is it Sensational? Is it, because that's a very popular wig brand? Or is it another brand? Because it might be the material that brand is using. I would explore other wig brands just to see if you're getting that same effect or not. My mom, I don't know if she's still on here or not. Hey, mom, if you are, but my mom, for some reason, she can't. I don't know if it was just that one wig or if it's just all wigs in general. And feel free to comment, mother, if you are still in here. She probably not. She probably dipped out, but it's fine. I love you still. At one point, her scalp was just itching all the time with wigs. So I don't know, but it could have been that one brand, but I don't know. But yeah, but I would try different brands to see how your hair responds or your scalp responds. Okay, rapid fire. Did she answer the question of how to moisturize silk press? Ooh, Nita, that's a good question because I just had a silk press. Okay, so here's the thing about moisturizing silk presses. Technically, you can't. Technically, you can't, because when we talk about moisturizing, we're talking about water. And we know water and silk press, baby, do not mix. They don't mix. So what do, right? I highly recommend doing, and I always say this. So my curl friends who are locked in curly chemistry community, I'm going to say, do a really good deep conditioner, like juicy deep conditioner, like tablespoon of avocado oil, mix under the dryer, steamer, 30 minutes, like do a good deep conditioning treatment prior to your silk press. If you're going to a stylist who's doing the silk press, ask her to put you under the steamer or the dryer, give you the deepest deep moisturizing conditioner she has, because you really want to get your hair full of that juicy moisture prior to the silk press, because you're going to go a little bit long without putting an actual moisturizing cream or liquid on the hair. So that's one thing I would highly recommend. The second thing, and this may seem kind of crazy, I would increase your water intake. Like, well, this isn't water, this is sweet tea, but I would increase your water intake to, in a sense, hydrate your hair from the inside out. It's a thing and it works. I need to talk more about that in another video. The third and final thing is, don't leave silk press in longer than, I'm going to say, a month. And I know you're like, a whole month, girl, I just paid X amount of money. You tell me. Yes, because you want to put that hydration back into your hair and your scalp. When I hit week 4 of my silk press, my hair was begging for moisture. And my scalp was getting like trying to like, like a little flaky because it's dry. You know what I'm saying? I tried to use a scalp serum, but it was making my roots puff up. So you don't want to go too long. Like enjoy your silk press for like 3 or 4 weeks, but then after that, girl, it gotta go. It gotta go. So you can get your hair the proper nutrients and hydration that it needs. Okay. So hope I answer your question, all the things. Okay. Rapid fire, rapid fire. I'm getting silly and I haven't even ate yet. I need to eat dinner. Like, what are we going to eat, guys? I don't even know. Ugh. Okay. So for those who don't know, around the 8 o'clock time, this is when I get very silly because number 1 is getting late. And number 2, at this time, I have not ate. So my brain kind of like does this thing where I get kind of silly. I'm joking, but I'm really not. Okay. Rapid fire. Curly Sloth, I love that you put rapid fire. That cracks me up. Okay, rapid fire. Shower wash or sink wash? I'm a shower wash girl. I used to do like the sink wash, but I feel like, I don't know, like I feel like it was just more tingles for me. And I look at my wash day as a freaking self-care spa day. So I be in the shower, girl, got the music playing, I'm enjoying my time with my hair. So I'm all for shower washing. Rapid fire, braid out or twist out. I love a good braid out. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Knotless braids or twist. I love twists. I've never had knotless braids. I might need to try those. Okay. What product do you recommend to combat humidity? Ooh, great question. Hair grease, hair grease, hair grease, hair grease. Absolutely hair grease. Or there is a spray by HAIR CARE. I think it's called humidity control or humidity something, but it's by HAIR CARE. And it's a spray. So you spray it on your hair and it works amazingly at blocking humidity. So I recommend that. Ooh, excuse me. Where am I? I'm in the US. I'm in the US, girl. I'm in the US. Will oil on the scalp help with itchiness? Even though I wash my hair every 2 weeks, will oil on the scalp help with itchiness? Even though I wash my hair every 2 weeks? Yes. But depending on the oil that you're using. So if it's itchiness due to dryness, you're going to want a scalp serum. You're going to want a water-based product. If it's dryness, if it's dryness, you're going to want a water-based product. Now, if your scalp is itching due to like, I don't know, like an infection or like bacterial, like dandruff, tea tree oil mixed with a little bit of jojoba oil mixed with a little bit of tea tree oil would be great for that. And you can do that, multiple times throughout the week as needed. Great question. Rapid fire. Is deep conditioning with heat still necessary? I mean, here's the thing. I cheat. I am a cheater when it comes to hair care. I ain't got time to get out the shower and put on the deep conditioner and sit under the dryer for 30 minutes. That's 2012, Tanya. That's 2013, Tanya. 2025, Tanya is cheating. So here's what I do when I deep condition my hair. I rinse out my shampoo. I'm still in the shower, by the way, okay? Rinse out my shampoo. I put my deep conditioner on. I will like pin up the hair or like put like little like ponytails, I guess. Like I put it up. And then I take a shower cap and just put it on. And while I'm in the shower washing my body, the steam from the shower is giving my hair the heat as a deep conditioner would, as if I was getting under the blow dryer. But since I have that shower cap on and the steam is automatically creating its own deep conditioning environment, So that's what I do. It works. It works. Now, there's nothing wrong with getting out the shower. If you want to do that, definitely do that. But I just like to do it that way because it's just more convenient for me. Okay. We're almost done, guys. We're almost done. My hair doesn't hold oils. What's the best moisturizer that lasts on 4C hair? My hair doesn't hold oils. What's the best moisturizer that lasts on 4C hair? So oils aren't really going to give your hair and I hate this. I don't want to say I hate it, but moisture and hydration always gets interchangeably and just depends on the person. But oils are not going to moisturize your hair. They're going to lock in moisture. So the real question is, Brenda, are you using a water-based moisturizer first, or are you using the oil first? Because if you're using the oil first, the oil needs something to lock in. The oil by itself is not going to do it, at least not for our hair type, you know? So you want a water-based product. That can be a water-based cream, a water-based liquid, step one. And then step two is going to be that oil. It's like a layering process is going on here, you know? So that's what I would highly recommend doing. And depending on you said 4C hair. So you got 4C hair, girl. So that means you have the luxury of using hair grease if you want, you know what I'm saying? But hair grease is amazing. I love it. I got low porosity hair, but because my hair is thick, I can get away with the hair grease. You know what I'm saying? So hair grease, lanolin, avocado oil, olive oil, sweet almond, all the things. So yeah. Okay. We are almost done. What time is it? 8:11. Let's get off at 8:15. Can we do it? Can we do 8:15? I don't know. We're going to try. Rapid fire. Oh, let's see. What are good hair products for the cold winter? You want heavy products, Naomi. Heavy products. I think I do have a shop on Amazon for winter products. If not, you want creams, like thick creams. A really good thick cream that I love right now is the Apogee. Send me a check. Okay, at this point, send me a check, Apogee, because I be talking about y'all every single day. Okay, but I digress. Apogee Shea Pro Leave-In Conditioner is so bomb. Okay, that one I highly recommend. Very nice, creamy texture, especially for the wintertime. Tabitha Brown's Donna's Recipe Extra Creamy Hair Cream, awesome. Highly recommend that too. Also products for the winter, like just thick, deep conditioners. You know, like that's gonna be really good for you as well. All the ones I recommend are in my Amazon store, so definitely check that out. Ooh. Tea rinse after shampoo versus after conditioner. Great question. So I like tea rinse after shampoo personally and after conditioner. So the good thing about the hydrating herbal hair tea rinse is that you actually have a lot left over. And I kind of designed it that way. So if you want to keep some in the fridge and put it on your hair during the week as a hydrating spritz, you can absolutely do that. But for me, after I shampoo my hair, I'll take my rinse and I'll, run it down my hair, my scalp, massage that in because my scalp is clean. And I want my scalp to absorb all of those hair growth promoting antioxidants after my scalp is clean. So shampoo and then tea rinse. Now, after I condition my hair, while my conditioner is still in my hair, I'm gonna take the leftover tea rinse I have and pour it over my hair with the conditioner already on the hair. And that makes it so much more juicier, especially for detangling. So that's how I do it. So after shampoo and also after, in a sense, on top of my conditioner. Great question. Whew. And for those who don't know about the Hydrating Herbal Hair Tea Rinse, the link is below in the description box. Okay. How long will the tea last in the fridge? Great question. Typically around 5 to 6 days on average. Would hair grease be suitable for someone who washes their hair once or twice a month? Yes. That's completely fine. And I think that's why I'm able to get away with hair grease as well, because I tend to wash my hair once a week. But if you want to wash your hair twice a month, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. I wouldn't do once a month though with the hair grease. I wouldn't do that. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go. Because if not, I'm going to keep talking and it's going to be 10 o'clock and I'm going to be sitting here looking like a skeleton because I have not ate yet. I got to buy more of that tea. Yes, buy the tea. I'm so glad that you liked it. I'm so glad. And I need to post more reviews. I need to do better at marketing, guys. I am a cosmetic chemist. I'm not a marketer. So I am learning every single day. Like as I create great products, I want to be able to share the results as well. So more to come. Okay. Can I just add the ceramide NP powder to water or oil for one-time use? The one-time use is I don't understand. Tim Hansen, just shoot me an email, okay? Shoot me an email at ilearn@curlychemistry.com, okay? And we can talk more about the ceramides NP. All right, y'all. Lanaya done said it. Lanaya said, go girl. Thanks for the live, Tanya. Go eat. I'm about to go eat because it's getting late. All right, guys, I'm a digital marketer. Kenneth AB13, email me. ilearn@curlychemistry.com. I would say DM me on Instagram, but the DM's just crazy, right? I can't even answer a DM because it's just a lot. But ilearn@curlychemistry.com. Yeah, if you digital marketer, I need you. Okay. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this live. The goal is to do these once a week on Thursday. A few weeks ago, I don't know if she's on here, but someone called me out. They were like, "How you gonna do lives on Wednesday? I got Bible study." And I'm like, you might be right about that, so it's all good. So Thursdays are the live dates, which I love because it's fun. It's Friday Eve. You know what I'm saying? We get our questions in. So we're going to do this once a week, Thursdays at 7 p.m. Now, here's the thing. I'm alternating between YouTube and Instagram. So next week, you're going to be on Instagram at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then the following week, we'll be back here. Okay. What else? If you guys are on the Curly Chemistry email list, I send out all the updates, all the things. To get on that email list, go to my website. I'll post it in the chat. Give me 1 second. Let me get the link. Whew. I'm out of breath here. Okay, let's see. Pin message. Did it pin? There we go. Boom. So go to my website and scroll all the way at the bottom, and you can sign up for Curly Chemistry emails. I send emails out, I'll say once or twice a week, typically 2 times a week. I will not spam you. I will not sell your email address. Okay. So everything I give you guys is going to be value. Okay. All right, guys. I love you so much. Be safe. Have a great weekend. And I will be saving this live. So if you just joined, the live will be up literally in a few seconds. Okay. I love you guys so much. Thank you. When are we going to have an in-person hair meet and greet? I love that, Brenda. I love that. And I would love to do that. I just don't know where. I don't know where. Like, where are we going? Where are we meeting at, guys? Like, where are we meeting? Let me know where you guys want to meet. I'm going to be I might be in Los Angeles next month. We'll see. I need to go to Atlanta soon. I haven't been to Atlanta in a long time, so I need to go to Atlanta soon. But we'll see. We'll see. Miss Joy, I answered both of those questions earlier in the live about the derma rollers and moisturizing our hair. So definitely rewatch the live to get that answer. Atlanta. Okay. Well, we'll see, y'all. Thank you. Yes, thank you for hitting the like button. Thank you. All right, guys, I'm gonna go because I'm gonna be on here forever. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being a part of the Curly Chemistry community. I don't take y'all for granted. Y'all are amazing. I'm not going to keep going because I'm going to cry. But I ain't going to cry. I'm going to go eat. Okay? All right. I love y'all.